Hello, this is Weekend Handicapper. In this video, we are going to evaluate a recent trend that's been occurring in the Preakness Stakes. The Preakness Stakes is the second jewel of the Triple Crown, the second leg of the Triple Crown. In this particular year, 2022, we're going to have the 147th running of the Preakness Stakes. And in this video, we are going to evaluate the role of what's called new shooters. We call them new shooters. That is horses that didn't run in the Kentucky Derby, but they're going to run in the Preakness. We're going to evaluate their chances. And the reason I bring that up is because the past 2 years, horses that didn't run in the Kentucky Derby, skipped the Kentucky Derby, but ran in the Preakness, have won the Preakness. 2021, you had Rombauer winning. And in the year before that, you had the Phillies Swiss Skydiver winning the Preakness. And then we can go back to 2017 when Cloud Computing won for Chad Brown, a fresh horse that skipped the Kentucky Derby, won the Preakness. Now, historically, if you're looking at win contenders who win the Preakness Stakes, historically speaking, horses that ran in the Kentucky Derby have an advantage. They usually win the Preakness. But recently, the past 2 years, you've had horses that didn't run in the Kentucky Derby win in the Preakness Stakes. So will it be 3 in a row? Well, let's look at these quote-unquote new shooters, see if they have a chance. And as you see on your screen, there's the Preakness field for this year's Preakness. It's going to occur on May 21st at Pimlico. Let's just look at the new shooters. I'm going to have another video of my picks and analysis for the entire field, who I'm going to bet, what kind of selections I'm going to have for this year's Preakness. In this video, though, we're just going to look at the new shooters, and the majority of the field are new shooters. They didn't run in the Kentucky Derby. So this should be an interesting race. I don't know how competitive, how much talent you got in this race. Honestly, I'm disappointed by the contenders in this field. But nevertheless, it's the Preakness Stakes. We want to evaluate it, handicap it, and potentially bet it. Number 2, Creative Minister is our first new shooter. Creative Minister, trained by Kim McPeak, 10 to 1 morning line. This might be that wise guy horse. Here lately, it's been performing pretty well. It just came off a victory at Churchill Downs a couple weeks ago, so it hasn't been off for that long. It's pretty much ran just like these Kentucky Derby horses have, as far as length of time between races, but it didn't race in a Kentucky Derby. So this horse has been getting a lot of buzz. Certainly might have an outside chance of winning. Running style should be sort of favorable to Pimlico and the Preakness. Usually the Preakness Stakes, the running style, the horse that you want to be looking for, horses right off the early pace, a little bit off the early pace or on the front end. I think Creative Minister is probably going to be back too far, and I don't think that running style fits as far as win contenders go. But certainly you could use Creative Minister in the exacta spot. So the second, third, or fourth position. So exactas, trifectas, superfectas. Historically speaking, low price horses win the Preakness. You can check out my video where I kind of break all this down for you about the Preakness Stakes. But certainly don't neglect long shots underneath in the Preakness. They do factor in those exactas, trifectas, superfectas. So Creative Minister certainly has a shot to round out those exotic wagers. As far as a win contender, I wouldn't be shocked, but I don't see it happening. Number 3, Fenwick, 50 to 1 says it all. Look, we know what happened with Rich Strike in the Kentucky Derby. I'm not saying it can't happen, but it would be a shocker to get shocked 2 Triple Crown races in a row. Secret Oath, this is a whole another story. It could be just like Swiss Skydiver, who won the Preakness back in 2020, this filly certainly has a shot. Certainly looked good winning the Kentucky Oaks, trained by Dwayne Lucas, who is going for the record time 7th Preakness Stakes victory. Right now it's Bob Baffert. So this Hall of Fame trainer, Dwayne Lucas, certainly knows how to win the Preakness Stakes. My favorite memory of a Preakness victory is Oxbow. I had Oxbow, who was also trained by Dwayne Lucas and was ridden by Gary Stevens back then. Front-running victory that I'll never forget. Thank you all, Connections, for making that happen. But definitely, Secret Oath is a contender for sure. 9-2 morning line. Number 5, early voting. To me, I get the sense that the trainer, Chad Brown, is very, very confident in this horse. He's using the same tactics leading up to this year's Preakness with early voting as he did with Cloud Computing, who won in 2017. I put a video out about Cloud Computing. I picked that Preakness winner. That was a decent little price. So I think it's setting up really well for early voting. It could have the same scenario that Cloud Computing had. Now, number 5, early voting, is going to be on the front end. Well rested. Barely lost in the wood to Mo Donegal. So I think this horse certainly is a contender. That's why it's 7-2 morning line. But if that trend is going to continue of horses, these new shooters that skipped the Kentucky Derby in favor of the Preakness Stakes, this for sure is the main one. I would say keep an eye out for it, but I'm not telling y'all nothing. It's a 7-2 morning line. But definitely early voting has a serious shot to win the Preakness. The running style is great. The trainer's awesome. He knows what he's doing. He's using the same strategy that he used to produce a Preakness winner before. If that trend continues of new shooters winning the Preakness, this for sure is that horse, I think. Number 5, early voting. Then we get down to Armagnac. Armagnac, trained by Tim Yakteen. Some say he's trained still. Bob Baffert is calling the shots, so that alone, you might want to pay attention to this particular horse, number 7, Armagnac, at 12-1, because Bob certainly knows what he's doing. But I don't want to take nothing away from Tim Yakteen. He might be actually training the horse. But I don't think this horse has the talent to at least win. I'm sure he could get a piece of the exotics, but I don't think it's going to win this particular race, this Preakness. That leaves us with number 9, Skippy Longstocking, as our last new shooter who didn't run in the Kentucky Derby, but is going to run in the Preakness. 21 morning line. I don't think this horse has a shot at winning, but if history repeats itself, you got low price favorites or low price horses winning the Preakness. Sometimes horses that are big odds that you really can't make too much of a case for, but you should include them just from a betting standpoint. I think Skippy Longstocking would fit that bill. So as far as new shooters go, will the trend continue? The trend is the last 2 Preakness winning horses didn't race in the Kentucky Derby, skipped it in favor of the Preakness, won the Preakness. This year, you got 6 horses. Number 2, Creative Minister. Number 3, Fenwick. Number 4, Secret Oath. Number 5, Early Voting. Number 7, Armagnac. And number 9, Skippy Longstocking. Out of those horses, I think your contenders to win the Preakness would be Early Voting for sure, Secret Oath for sure, and Creative Minister. And out of those, I give the biggest chance to Early Voting. Doesn't mean we're going to get rich. Doesn't mean I will actually bet that horse. We want to look at these other contenders, and I'll evaluate the whole field in my annual Preakness Stakes picks and analysis video. But if the current trend continues, I wanted to make this video kind of evaluating those new shooters in the hopes that it might help you be more familiar with these horses, evaluate their chances based on past information of who typically wins or factors in Preakness winners and the Preakness Stakes. Again, check out my video about the picks and analysis for the 2022 Preakness Stakes, and also check out how to win the Preakness, where I talk in further detail about some of the common trends that helped me cash a lot of tickets during the Preakness Stakes and historically have been shown to prove to win the Preakness, such as post position, running style, trainers, and other factors that you might want to factor in your handicapping. So if you like this video, hit the like button. If you hadn't already, I appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button, that notification bell, so you can get all the latest tips, tools, and resources. Help you make money on thoroughbred horse racing. Till next time, this is a Weekend Handicapper. Happy handicapping, smart wagering.